Sorry about that. YouTube being YouTube, innit? Right, so carrying on. Carrying on, bloody hell. We've had enough of you already. Right, so like I said, this is a HIC Micro 4K digital scope, day and night optics. Alright, so I can use it firing during the day, conventional, I can in the night, with no torch beams, no light, no ambient light. I don't need anything other than being sneaky git. Alright, doing the hunting for the pot, frying pan, oven, whatever, or pest controlling. And it makes a dab hands that you ain't got an extra torch beam hanging off of there, you don't have a laser. If you shoot with a laser, whether it be on a pistol or a real pistol, you're an idiot. Alright, just throw the fucking laser in the bin. It ain't worth a bag of beans. Alright, so in here is what we got. Right, okay. So, top turret. Right, like I tried to explain on a quick video that I did and put out. So my top turret, that's just basically for a spare set of batteries. If I haven't charged up this bad boy, which is on a USB, that's the USB port in there. You unscrew the cap, the USB port's in there, plug the USB in, plug it into USB plug, let it do its thing, let it fully charge up. So when it charges, it glows red. Obviously when it's done, it goes green, and then know that this scope is now fully charged up. And I haven't charged this scope up in about 4 weeks, and I've still been out shooting with it for 4 weeks running, night after night, day after day, and I've not bothered to shoot, recharge up, or even I've never ever inserted the batteries into the top mount. Right, so if I spin this bad boy around, okay, my left turret is the menu option. Right, so that does all the menus, as well as zoom in, zoom out. Alright, so the maximum I've got this up to is times 14 by 9. Right, I have put in one of the videos, or maybe I've done it even as a short, just giving you an idea of the magnification, how clear it all is, so on. Right, so take a look at that and you get a better idea of what I'm trying to explain, because I have tried to stick you, the audience, plus the camera down the back of there, and it don't work, you don't do it. So I'll explain it. Right, so if I get to telling you what I'm telling you, it'll be all good, and there'll be a way to film and for you to see what I'm doing when I'm doing it, as I'm doing it in real time, and I'll explain that in a minute. Right, so with this scope here, we've got the power button, just a simple power button. It's just a simple on and off. When it goes off, it goes from 3, 2, 1, beep, whole scope is dead, done, switched off. Right, or it goes into a standby mode, where if the weapon is tilted like so, this scope will then, right, when you're ready to shoot it, comes back on. But a lot of shooters, they actually do turn off the scope, so therefore you're not draining the battery, you can do what you need to do. But in the process of you trying to look for your quarry, you're leaving the scope on. A lot of shooters, not me, I don't do it, it's just too much crap that you don't need when you've got an optics that's doing it all for you. So why carry more binoculars, for example? Now I carry a small compact set that I used to have in my belt kit back in the day when I was having a sneaky peek around, being a sneaky twat, and I would use those camouflaged up, they've so well, not damaged in any way, shape or form. I give them a good clean every now and then, put them back in my pouch until I need it. I don't carry around a rangefinder. I do all the calculations in the head. Alright, I don't use none of that. Oh, let me have a and it'll tell me my range, and then I can dial it in, and then I'll hit the target. I can't be arsed with all of that. It's just too much shit. Too much shit you've got to hump around when you're out shooting. Alright? For me. Everyone's all different. People have shooting sticks. People make shooting sticks. I've made numerous shooting sticks. Get 2 branches, form an X. That's your tripod. Sits in the ground. Rifle sits here. And there's your shooting sticks. When you collapse them, they go like this. Collapse up. Walk along. When you're ready to take shot, you open them up. Boom. Like I said, I've got a bipod. Having a bipod adds more weight. This scope alone weighs about a pound on its own. So this rifle scope, although I've got it on a 177 air rifle, or shall I say a 22 rifle, air rifle, sub 12, alright, a lot of people say, why the friggin' hell would you get one of them? Well, that's quite easy, because I do shooting during the day and during the night, and I'm not faff-arsing about bolting on torches like I have on one of the other rifles that I'll show another time, because I've got a Springer and that cracks. It sounds like a 88mm anti-aircraft gun going off. You're like, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. And you can wonder why I've got no air on me, because a couple of shots of that, backdraft, no more air, mate. It's all done. It's a 30mm tube, 30mm scope mounts, and a Picatinny rail. Now you can change that into a dovetail rail, right? But this came with a Picatinny rail, so therefore I need Picatinny 30mm scope mounts, and I've got them. They're fully adjustable, so I can pitch the scope on the mounts, put shivs in there, and I can upper and lower it and all of that caper. So if I up the scope, when I fire it, technically the bullet's down there. Alright, and like I said, there's no argument to do with arm again for the old medication, Roy Castles. Alright, so like I said, or try to explain and then went out the end. So there's an age-old argument with sub-12 rifles on what calibre to use for hunting, targeting, so on. Right? Everyone all goes, if you're going out hunting and you're going to kill something for the pot or otherwise, you are going to want a 177 calibre air rifle or pistol, right? Because that is a more flatter trajectory and it gets there quicker. Although it's a smaller pellet, a smaller shell. Yeah, you're right, in a sense, alright? It does fly quite straight. It is a smaller shell. You can get heavier grain, but still staying in the 177 calibre. So you can get heavier grain, same size shell, same calibre, boof, you're away, alright? Like I tried to explain earlier, with weights and calibres, flight time differ. The weather has a big play into that. Okay, the Earth spins on a clockwork axis, so it goes spins from right to left, just like the hands on a watch or a clock or anything like that. They always go round to the left. Yeah, so always from left to right. Alright, magnet north, points to the compass, no different. So you need to take that into consideration. So where your target and you're looking down here, by the time you've pulled the trigger, explosions happened, now the projectile's coming out of the barrel, rattling and crunching down there, it's come out of the muzzle. If you move your position, so you fire it and go to reload it, to fire it, yeah, rapid succession times, that bullet's not going to go where you've aimed it. It's going to be scattered all over the place, alright? By having a 177 air rifle or pistol out for hunting, they say because it's a 177 and the flight time stays flat and gravity doesn't grab hold of it as much as it would a 2.2 rifle or a 2.5 calibre or a .50. Yeah, you can get 50 caliber air rifles. I've fired a few of them. Devastating, fucking devastating. Makes a mess. They say it flies flatter, true, quick, boom. Right? Hits the target, smacks the target out, no more target, no more. Whereas the 2.2 is a bigger round, carries a lot more weight, a lot more energy behind it as well, being a heavy caliber bullet or projectile. So therefore, as soon as it leaves the barrel, now gravity is doing this and it brings it down. So as soon as any projectile comes out of a muzzle, whether it be a rifle, pistol, even an arrow that you're firing from a crossbow or bow, or you're out with a slingshot, or as we call it in the UK, a catapult, slingshot. Right? Gravity grabs hold of it and pulls it down, which is why the human race stand up and we can walk around on the planet no problems. But as soon as you go in the outer atmospheres, you're all floating around like you're in a fish tank, because gravity. Right, so gravity plays a big part in shooting. The circle of the earth plays another big part in shooting. Thermals, wind drift, things like that, the speed of the wind. So if I've got a wind coming in from the left to the right, and my target is here banging straight in front of me, and I've got a high wind, say like a 4-knot wind, alright? I know for a fact that if I shot directly straight at that target will not get hit by my round. The guy next to me is going to get hit. So my shell's not gone on target. So how we do that is that we shoot into the wind grabs it and picks it and takes it to where you want it. These are some of the just quick highlight of shooting. Alright, well, like I said, this is a Wolverine M2. I've kept it all black because I think it does it just in all black. Okay, this weighs the same amount unscoped as the previous one that I showed you, so 6.5 pounds unscoped. Now I've added the night optics, the day and night optics. I've added another £1, £2 on it. Right, the actual price of this particular scope, okay, is £500. Or if you're in America, let's just make it easy, $500. Alright, now at the time this, and it still is one of the smartest and high-tech pieces of kit you can have on any rifle in anywhere in the world for any job you want it to do. This will do that job, no question, no problems. And what I like about it, well, it's not because it's 4K, although that does play a bit of a part. It's a 4K rifle, scope, okay? Notice I said not air rifle, right, which I'll come into in a brief second. This actual scope should be attached to a full bore or 2.2 rimfire rifle, because this scope was designed for those rifle shooters in mind, competition shooters, hunters, ranchers, gamekeepers, and so on, target shooters. For an air rifle, this makes my rifle, this particular one, very, very heavy. £6.5 unscoped, and no bipod. As soon as you start adding bits and pieces, torches, lasers, fucking bipods, the weight of the rifle goes up. You then have got to make a choice. Do I want to be humping all that around, or do I want to leave it out and take a lighter one, make my life easier? Alright, that's your choice, personal preference. Not everyone's all the same, no one shoots all the same, no one breathes all the same air at the same. What I mean by that is we're all different, we all do different things, different minds, so on. So this rifle here, if you notice on this curvature on the butt, alright, that is designed so that you could put an obstacle or a sandbag, a shooting bag, or even a small bipod underneath your bench resting it, firing it, whatever. Okay, like I said, it's ambidextrous. It's left to right, right to left. Alright, there you go, you just see me cocking it, so there's me cocking it. I pushed it forward. That's what it sounds like with the moderator or suppressor or silencer, if you're a hitman. Alright, so left to right with this one on the safety catch, so left to right. So if I push the safety catch sort of over to the right, that trigger now doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay, doesn't work at all. Now, I've briefly mentioned the magazines, or I've mentioned the magazine several times, how many shots it is. In 22 caliber, you get 10 shots per mag per go. Alright. This actual scope, like I said, is more suited for hunting rifles, etc. I'm not saying it's no good to put on a air rifle with any kind, Springer, PCP, pneumatics, things like that. But what I would say is, do not, unless you're doing it for fun, with the kids in the back garden, shooting tin cans, bottles, plastic bottles that is, splash targets, things like that. Don't even bother getting a CO2, they ain't worth a sausage. And a lot of those will not even dispatch a quarry, in other words, dispatch a rat, a rabbit, bird, that type of stuff. Alright, they're not worth the daisy. So I would say, if you want something that you're going to go out potentially hunting, shooting, target work and things like that, either get a Springer, a decent Springer, or a PCP. Like I said, my bottle's in now, and where the dial is, okay, the pressure gauge that tells me how much juice is in the bowl, just behind that, which is in front of that, is the filler port. So all I have to do is leave the bottle inside, so the bottle stays in here, I fill it up whilst it's in the gun, dismantle it, empty it out, good to go. Now I'm good for shooting. Bearing in mind I've got 3 of these. This is my second one in the 22 caliber, the other one's in a 177, and the one that I first showed you on the first stream is one 22 caliber as well. So this is my go-to other hunting rifle. Alright, I've mentioned, like I said, it's ambidextrous, so you can change it from left to right firing depending on if you're a lefty or a righty, or you can leave it so it's a right-handed firing rifle and still fire it left. Cool, huh? Like I said, it's a Hick microscope, check them out. This does all sorts of mad shit, including some of the settings within the optics itself, the scope itself, goes from like A to Z. Alright, if you've got it on a rifle, right, so this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. Alright, this is set up for the rifle. If I was to take that scope off now and put it on my secondary Wolfer, I would then have to re-zero it in to that rifle, which is easy, and I'll set that on setting B. Alright, so it goes from Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, so all the way down to Zulu. So I can go, right, setting B, I know that is all settled in, zeroed in, good to go, and it's set up for another rifle. Setting C, alright, I've taken this off, I'm now going out, down to Bisley Ranges in Surrey, next door to ATI Berberite, where I was for a wee while. You can take this off any one of these rifles, put it on your hunting or target rifle, full bore, 2-2 whatever. Go into your setting, So it's ABC, so now you're picking C, and you re-zero this in to that setting, number C. Alright? When you come to put it back on your air rifle, all you need to do, obviously put the scope back on the rifle. You don't need to go down the range, re-zero it, you don't need to do none of that malarkey. All you need to do is go into the settings, you know, press your power button, and then, like I said, with the left turret wheel, this one, yeah, all the different settings from Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, so for this rifle it'll be on setting A. I know that this is all bells and whistles all set up for this rifle. If I was to take it off of this one, chuck it on the other Wolverine, I'll be on setting Bravo, B. All the calculations and all the zeroing is all done. Take it off that one, put it on another rifle, go on to profile Charlie, C setting, same thing again. All the information and the data that you've put into this scope stays and stores there. So all you need to do then, go down range, 5 shots, see what your grouping's getting up to and what's it doing, job done. If you need to make slight little adjustments from time to time, sometimes that happens. You do that, alright? Now, like Let's tab 59 turned around and said, at the back of the scope there was a rubber eyepiece, right, which is there for a multitude of reasons that people find. A couple of reasons that they're there for, right. I had one on this, when I got this, I'll do another video and I'll show you what you get in your box for 500 quid. There he goes. So I had the rubber eye relief where, like Keith said, he turned around and said, you can have that, so that blocks out sunlight, glare, burns your eye, you're no good now, you're potentially blind, or basically blind, right? That is also there so that when you got your night settings on and you're using a beam, it reduces all the outside of what's going on around here, yeah, it blocks all of that out, so you can get your eyeball sealed around that rubber cupping tube, which unscrews and screws back on, some of a pull on, push off type method, alright, and that will couple around your eyeball so there's no reflective light coming in from behind you, no, you know, it blocks out the crap you don't need to see. All you need to see is what you're looking down at through your glass, down at the target, whatever your target may or may not be. Alright, even when you're having a conversation, you can still be on the glass, still have a full-blown conversation without taking your eye off the glass. That takes practice. Not a lot of people know that. Those who know what I'm saying. Alright, so for me, if I was to cop this, like I said, firing it, there we go, that's it, that's basically boom. And away we go. Yeah, I haven't got to take my eye off the target once. All I've got to do is keep looking down at the target. I know where everything is. I know where my position and hold is. Alright? Marksmanship principles, they all come in with all shapes and sizes of weapons. They're all the same. They don't change. Why change something that they broke? Okay? So I can sit here and I can do all 10 shots from the magazine, which I'm about to show you in a second. So I can do all 10 shots, whack them off, job done. Alright? So there's no I can do that with all 3 of them. That's how I like this compact bullpop Wolverine M2 rifle. Okay? This particular one, forgetting the scope, like I said, the scope in there is a 550 quid worth of scope. In fact, it's a little bit more than that, but I'm just being generous. Alright, they've now, the company that makes this, Hick, they've also now brought out a Pacific day and night scope, so it's the same as all of this. Alright, what this does, the air rifle scope does exactly the same. Exactly the same. No difference, no change. Just that it's a smaller scope. It weighs a hell of a lot lighter than this bad boy. And it reduces the weight within your rifle. It reduces the weight in carrying it all day and night. And it's amazing. Okay, so to give you a perspective, my brother on his Stealth, because we both got the same rifle, it's called Stealth, we both got the same caliber, 22 caliber. Alright, don't worry, this isn't going to affect my zeroing or my scope. Okay, get to that with you. So Hick Micro have listened out to the air gunners. The air gunners, like myself, see this bit of kit and was like, yeah, I want some of that, because I go out shooting through the night and I don't want to be having half a ton of bits of kit for me to accomplish doing what I'm doing, shooting overnight. And I don't want no big TV screen on, bolted onto the back of it like I have on my Stealth, the camera, put it on. I've then got a TV screen like a mobile phone basically sitting in front of me, even with it all turned down on the lowest max. On a dark night, I'm just getting blinded. By the time I go to shoot what I want to shoot, it's off, it's on its toes, it's gone. So the opportunity goes, right? So a lot of us all went for the Hick Micro. This is technically the A model, right? Because then they brought out the same scope, except for up on the focusing front focal. All right, that was like a little pod, like having a. For me to explain it, right? I use my Zippo lighter. Okay, so if you can imagine my Zippo lighter, and that's being on the rifle. So if I change it like that, and I change it like that, right? So my Zippo light represents where the infrared and the ballistic calculator is, right? So this current one, okay, this current one is the A model. The B model, or the second model, was the same scope, but like I said, it had a probe up the top, and that stores your infrared torch and also your ballistic calculator and an onboard laser. Think about that, the scope's got laser, so you don't need a bolted on laser that puts out a beam. Every numpty and fucking animal can see you coming when you've got a laser, and they go, yeah, here comes Johnny Rambo, I'm doing you off, mate. I'm going back underground until them lights are all done and dusted. Alright? This does all of that. Doesn't have a ballistic calculator. I don't need a ballistic calculator, really. Don't need one. I don't need an infrared torch. The scope's already got the infrared torch. Plus, I've got a separate infrared torch that I can bolt on to the top of my scope. Any one of them. Alright. Switch it on. And this scope looks literally like it's broad daylight, as bright as my, or 10 times brighter than my living room. So, like I say, the more bells and whistles and trinkets you put on it, so a bigger scope, a bipod, the laser, the torches, all of that crap, alright, it then makes this, well, starting off as a, oh yeah, I can carry that all day, okay, turns into be stuff you, mate. I ain't humping that about. So, like I said, Hick Micro, they brought out a Pacific rifle scope purely for air rifles. And it's called the Hick Micro Light air rifle scope, which has got all the same features as this, and the Mark II model, like I said, where it's got the ballistic calculator, the infrared torch, it's got a laser all built in, it's got all of that crap, right? They start off anywhere between 600 quid upwards. This is over £2.5 scope on its own, brand new, in the box, all the legit paperwork. Every now and then, I will say with these, every now and then you've got to do a firm upwear, you know, reinstalling the new latest updates, just like your mobile phone, tablets, that sort of stuff. All that does, clears out any bugs. If there's new bits of kit and equipment and it's all tuned in with your phone, comes in a second, I did tell you that, didn't I? So this gets an update, just like a computer, your mobile phone, so on, right? Once it's all done that, it's all good to go. Companies will send that out, you'll get a message on the app. I wish I could show you the app, but I can't, because then you won't be seeing me and all that is. Yeah. So, with any HIC products, whether it be a scope, a thermal night vision, a ballistic fucking calculator, let me know the distance, jazz, right? You can connect that to your mobile phone device, your smart TV, your tablet, whatever it is you like, okay? And once you click on and install the HIC app on your smart device, phone, tablet, TV, whatever, you can make and see whatever the shooter is doing. You can see that on the mobile phone. And that's how, if you look on the channel, there is a couple of videos, or maybe a short or video or something that I did, and you can see what this scope's doing when I'm playing around with it. Alright? So if you get the app, you install it on your phone. Via the app, you can also zero in your rifle. You can change all the settings in your scope. Alright, because this connects to the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connects to your phone. That's where you've got the app. The app is now talking to this. This is now talking to the app. And if you get the HIC micro light, specially designed for air gunners and air rifles, alright, it does the same. This scope takes pictures. This scope also records live images, what you're doing. Sound as well. It records sound, it takes pictures. Now if you've got the app and you've got the scope on, I've got Wi-Fi switched on with this all the time. The Wi-Fi is still switched on, it's all good. That talks to my phone, talks to the app. I can then record everything and anything on my phone. I don't need to record it in a scope. It then stores it in my own phone, and then I can pull up that file anytime, any place I want. Alright, so that is the HIC micro. That is the HIC micro light, and that's that particular scope. Magazines, and I don't mean it's like as in the paper form, so I'm going to put down a bipod, makes my life easy, close the scope cap. It's not switched on, by the way, so I'm going to rest the rifle down now on the bipod. I did say to you, well, I've got a bag, and what's in that bag and pouch, right? So let me try and move this a bit more. La-di-da. No, there we go. Oh no, bugger. It's all going wrong now, Mrs. Miggins. It's all going wrong now, mate. Okay. Oh, there we go. So, 3 pouches. Right, put me at that. That's my ammunition. Alright. So in this pouch, I've probably even got. So what I store in this particular pouch here are all my targets, all of them. Alright. And Keith, if you're watching later, let me find them, sir. Alright, here's just some wacky arse shooting that I do. Alright, so Keith, these are known as your splash targets. Move your big cheesy edge. Alright, and that was fired by, I do believe, my Wolf Rain. I might have written it on there, I normally do. No, right, okay, no. So I was just mucking about, checking the zero on a rifle, and that was in product. So these are black discs, these are stickers, technically. Right, that's the back side. So I've got two targets in one, so I can pick either one, right? So on this particular shoot, I went, right, I'll have 25 targets, like this. The other 25, I'll have, like so, right? At 40 metres, that, right, at 40 metres, this circle is small, very small, from that distance. Right, even at 60 metres, still a fair whack with an air rifle, right? So the yellow signifies where your shots are. So that's pretty pants really, right, looking at it. In fact it is pants. Right, I know I can shoot better, I know I can do better, but this was just zeroing in, see what's going on with a couple of rifles plus pistols. And these are known as splatter targets. So as you can see, it makes a splatter. Your luminous yellow tells you where your shots are going, and that's what it looks like, or so I say, that's what it looks like when you don't hit it or shoot at it. So that's how it originally starts. By the time you finish shooting, that's how it looks. And from where these splatters are, you can make corrections on your scope or sights, zero them in, yeah. So that's that. Another mad jolly days around there. So there's another one. There's me going Machine Gun Kelly. Right, so these are my targets. And why do I keep the targets? Well, that's the simple answer to tell you. The simple answer to the question is, so I've got a reference point of when my last shot is. So all shooters, competition or military shooters, okay? So these are just some of the targets that I practice on. Sometimes I'll just have a mad funny day and just go, do you know what? I've got 10 magazines, that's 100 rounds, 10 rounds a magazine. I'm just going to have blast out. So I'll just shoot. For no other reason, just to have a shoot basically. Right. So those are some of the targets I have, I keep, I store, and I remember. Alright, and if you're getting into shooting, you're an old type shooter, make sure you've got what is known as a dope book, so data on previous engagements or shots. Alright, if you made a shot, say 50 metres away on a particular day, particular weather conditions, thermal, spin drift, blah blah blah. If you need to go back and do that shot again, all the calculations that you've done previous would be all written down in that dope book. From that dope book, when you go to make that shot, you just got to read your dope book and what you did that day, what you dialed into, what the range was, and so on. Alright? And that's what dope book is. And then you'll have MOA, minute of angle. Yeah, there's loads of things. So I said, right, well this is my magazine pouch. Well, it is my magazine pouch. And these are the shells that I currently fire. So these are Bisley Pest Control, and these are 5.5mm with 200 in a tin. Not sure what the weight is. So what maybe mint pies tell me. Right, so these are 22 calibre. That's how much it cost me, £8 or $8. let me see, it might tell me the grain or weight. No, don't tell me about. Anyway, so that's one type of pellet I use. Like I said, 22 calibre. Right, let me see if I can open the books. If I can open the box, I'll show you what they look like. They don't look really much anything. I've also got steel pellets. So these are basically the hollow point pellet. And we all know what a dum-dum hollow point does. That's what that does. Right? It's a dum-dum. Hollow point dum-dum. So wherever I've just shot, it's done. You ain't getting that no more. Whether it be a rat, bird, rabbit, whatever. Right? So I use those when I'm out hunting. Right? So these. That's what I use. That's the calibre, 5.5mm, which is .22 cal air rifle, and yeah, so 5.5mm is 22. 4.5 is 177, and I forget what 25 and 50 cal is in mils. I can't remember. Right, so that's one type of ammunition. Gaffer tape. Just a little top tip, you can never ever do or go anywhere when you need a piece of tape or electrical tape. Always keep some gaffer tape in your shooting bag. You never know when you're going to need it for anything, for any purpose. Right? Top tip. Soldier days, soldier days. Wasps. I don't really recall my rifles, the Wolverine C. This is another thing, right? A lot of people think, oh yeah, I'll just get any old pellet and I'll fire it down the rifle and it'll do what I want it to do. No. All rifles and all pistols and all ammunition are completely all different across the board. Completely different across the board, and I mean completely. So different weights, different make. The whole shebang comes into play. So these are normal 22 pellet. It's got a skirt in it. Yeah, it's normal 22. Alright, that's the skirt. And if you was going to boost it, you bung a bit of Vaseline in that hole there, load it into your weapon, fire it, and now basically you've now made your weapon illegal, so you're going to get done. For that purpose, you're going to need a full firearms licence in the UK, FAC, because now you've turned your sub 12 into a full firing rifle. Do you see what I mean? Alright. So I use these Wasps mainly in two of my other rifles because they ain't really bothered about it really, but the Wolverine, he don't like the Wasps. Right, so that's a Wasp. Like I said, in 22 cal. They're number 3s. Nothing too special. I can't even see what it's saying there for weight, if it's got anything, but maybe you can see it. So that's the Wasp. That's the ammunition. The Wolverine just don't like, hates it. Absolutely hates it. I get jams. Yeah, it's just not suited for that. My other rifles and pistols, it's alright, it does the job, you know. It's alright for plinking, these type of pellets. They're alright for, you know, whacking off some targets, tin cans, that sort of shit. These come with a plastic jacket. So these are technically another style of hunting pellet. And they come in a nice little box, right? So these are around, I don't even think you can get these pellets anymore, but I don't know if you can see that. Alright, so that's the head of the pellet. And there, if you can see it, vaguely, just about, is a black plastic skirting which holds that pellet in, and these are like dum-dum bullets again. So when these make impact to your quarry, bird, rabbit and so on, if this hits bone, it's game over. You know, this will blast out the back of a rabbit's head at 25 to 40 yards, 40 metres, alright? This will do damage, alright? That's what they look like, that's what they come in. So let me try and, there's 50 in the box. Try and tell you the make or brand, let me see. Prometheus pellets, made in England, there we go, bloody rarity. 100 times 22, so alright, I was thinking this was a 25 or a 50 box, it's not, it's 100. So there's basically 10 magazines worth in there. Let me see what the weight is. No, it don't specify what the weight is. But when this is fired, the actual black, which is the same black type of plastic as the ammo box is, the plastic that holds in the actual pellet comes away. All you're left with is that hollow point pellet, and wherever you shoot, being a tin can, target or a quarry, packs a punch. It does what it says and a lot more. Alright, so I would strongly recommend those type of pellets. You can see the brand now. I don't know, maybe you can, maybe I'll turn it a little. Alright, so that's that. That's another type of ammo that I use. But yeah, I ain't really got anything other than steel pellets. Not really ideal for anything really. Just another dum-dum bullet. I think this might have been one when I had a feed jam or something. You can see that. But like I said, I've only got a few steel pellets left, which a lot of people say, no, steel pellet, you're wasting your time. It's about as accurate as a fucking chocolate snow cone. You're wasting your time. But I've got other rifles. Steel pellet don't mean anything to them. It's all good. Those as well, which I've only got a few left. I highly recommend and would sell you these. These are JSB Match Diablo Jumbo. Alright, now these are $20 a tin for, I think it's either 1,000 or 500. 500, and these are 1.030 grain or grams, right? And then grain, they're 1588 grain. So there's 500. That's what they look like. That's how they come, etc. Right, so that's what they look like. You can see that pretty good. Here's the jumbo round. That's what it does. And these are very, very accurate in any weapon that I've put in so far. Now I've got a strange one. Excuse me, can't leave them about when you've got dogs. Right, so the jumbos, the JSBs, they are 500 rounds in there, very accurate, very stable. You can shoot the bollocks off and that off, you know, you can shoot a mosquito every time, all the time. It's very accurate, very very well tested pellets basically. And these will do the pest control, these will do the target work, etc. Now we go on to the magazines. You find an empty one and a full one. I do have more ammunition. Told you I've got loads of ammunition. So whether you can see that, but there's an arrow. See that white arrow? I'll tell you what that is. So when you load this magazine in, right, you'll go in that way. Okay, so when you load this rifle, the white arrow faces towards the muzzle, towards the target. Whether you're loading it from the right or from the left, it don't matter. Alright? To load it, you simply, the pellet goes in there and then you rotate it. It's on the spring and you just rotate it. Alright? Rotate it, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Once you've got a fully loaded magazine, right, it will not spring anywhere. So this magazine's already loaded, you can see the shells in there. So it gives you a picture and an idea of what shells are in there. These are probably JSBs, or it could be when I was last shooting the pest controls, or it might even be dum-dum and exploding rounds, because I've got exploding pellets as well. And I generally, in a magazine, I'll mix and match them up, and I use an exploding round or a tracer round, and I can see what's going on, what I'm doing, where I'm doing it. Yeah. And there, they, like I said, these hold 10 rounds. 10 round magazines a piece, 22 caliber, 177. I'm only going to get one more shot, 2 more shots in the magazine, so I'm only getting between 11 and 12 rounds in 177. Because I've got 2.2, I lose a round or 2. Big deal. Not really. So those are the magazines, and I've got loads of them, because I'm always out shooting. And my ammo pouch, my dump pouch, depending on how you want to see it, I've now got some slugs. Alright, and I don't mean the ones that are sitting on your plant, in the garden or your pot. So those are the slug rounds I use, that's the weight. Alright. These are also bombed up in the magazine. So the first one I showed you was 27 grains. These are 23 grain. And you can see that, you get an idea of what they are. Like I said, these are slugs. These make a mess on targets, quarry, just blasts, wherever it is, it destroys. It's as simple as that. So these are 25 grain. 25 grain shell. Like I said, packs a punch, makes a mess. My Wolfer, my Stealth like it. 30 grain. These are all hollow point dum-dums, by the way. When it hits, kills it, destroys it, maims it. Alright? These are what the full firearms boys are using, the FAC guys. These are 21 grain. Like I said, there you go, you can see the hollow point dum-dum and how big of a chunk of lead that is. Alright, these pack a punch. These pack a punch. So if you're out pest controlling, this your personal preference and choice. Me, I would say, if you've got a magazine-fed weapon, like most bullpops or PCPs, or even some swingers have got magazines, funny enough. Alright, then try out some slugs. And I don't mean the ones that really go. What's that? Rubbish. More rubbish. So what you're fumbling around here with is all the magazines that I've got. Say, magazine bombed up, filled up, ready to go. This one's an empty one, so I use that as a... This one's empty, so I'm going to use that as a demo one for showing you the left and right magazine placement. Right, so all of these magazines, I've done what no one really should ever do, leave ammunition in a magazine, because that keeps the spring under tension, damages your magazine, your gun's no good if you ain't got no bullets or retain no shells. So I've got 4 or 5, like I say, I've got loads of magazines for both of them, so this is another empty one. So to load it, it literally goes anti-clockwise. Fill it in via that big major hole there, it goes anti-clockwise, and you just one shell at a time, boom. Yeah, another magazine. See, so like I said, I've got loads more magazines, loads of them. And all I do is I fill all the magazines up. Bearing in mind, these are 10 shot a piece. If you take out 100 rounds, chances are you're not going to use all 100 rounds. Alright. So, I'll keep you out if you want to. JSB's, exact gumbos, one of the belts I use, £20 a box, 1,000 shots. Anyhow, I've just got odds and sods, like I say, steel ones, that type of jazz. The wasps, they're not really liked by the Wolverine, but my stealth and another springer shoot them all day long. Doesn't phase them. And last but not least, Bisley pest controls. Some rifles like them, pistols, some pistols like them, some rifles like them, others don't. And it's just one of those that you as a shooter will have to play around, figure out what your weapon likes and dislikes for you to go shoot. So, like I said, pouch for slug rounds or spare magazines. Empty. So all of them. Three little pipes now. Right. Let me zip that up so it don't all go to pot. I'll show you stuff I've got. Right, so before I go back to the Wolverine, right, okay, Wolverine, simple, yeah, I've done it, it's all on safe, there ain't no shells in the magazine, so there we go. Right, now I'm going to cock the rifle, it's pretty much already cocked anyway, right, watch it is, yeah, so like I said, if you've got a right arrow and it's facing forward, right, what you simply do is you're placing, right, the magazine into the rifle. It's that simple. Take out the magazine, you know, charge it, there we go, it's fully to go. Yeah, and then to obviously take the magazine out, you just simply bring back the charging handle, take the magazine out, magazine comes out. Now, like I said, if you're a lefty, alright, see the white arrow again, faces down to the front. So if I spin it around, yeah, if I spin it around, you can now load said rifle from the left. Alright, see the magazine sticking out? That's now locked in. Good to go. Same thing, open it, hook it, take the magazine out. That's simple. Alright, like or a lot of us may or may not know that some, not all, but some rifles, the Wolverine don't do it. Alright, so when you fired your last shot, the cocking mechanism stays open, stays to the rear, like most real firearms. You know, like the top slide on a pistol stays to the rear. Other rifles, working parts and mechanisms to the rear to indicate and show you that the weapon's empty. Unfortunately, the Wolverine, it don't do that. It doesn't do that. You know the magazine's got 10 rounds. Alright, it's got 10 rounds. Count the shots. I'm sure you can count 1 to 10 or 10 to 1. Alright? That's how you'll know if the magazine is empty. Because this, even though the magazine is empty, just like I showed you, it will cock, it will operate, it will fire. It's a no-brainer. Alright? 2 seconds while I let out Mr. Pooch. Wait. Wait. Okay. Robin. What? Go low down, you. Just a fucking birthday. Right. Bonk. So there's one zone everything, eh? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. This is begins. Right, so that is basically the Wolverine. It's the same as the other one, other than take the bipod off, put the rifle mount on it. Right, so 2 rifles, both the same in the sense of they are the same rifle, other than different types of optics. This is the old-fashioned optics, crosshairs, work it all out, left, right, turret, up and down, MOA, suppressor, you know, same thing. Loads from the left or the right, same as this. This one on the other hand has got the high-tech gizmos, gadgets with all the bell missiles on the scope, etc. Alright, like I said, you know, when I'm doing my eye relief, where the rear lens cap is, I know from where that lens cap is to my eye relief, that's bang on for me, and I can see a clear picture in the scope shooting at the target. Alright, so like I said, if you're willing to spend a bit of money on a nice piece of rifle, pistol, you know, depending on what your budget and pocket is, this is just something you can end up with. Like I said, this rifle scope is anywhere up to 650, anywhere up to 1500, almost £2 grand. Alright? It all depends what stockists and places you go to get it, depending on the price. That's the thing. Alright? Like I said, I have shot both of my Wolf 2.2 rifles out at 200 metres, and I've hit steel plate and everyone's all gobsmacked and handed over the money because they thought I couldn't do it. Even I was having a bit of a doubt to myself, but faith, will, etc. Then I made this shot. So Keith, if you're watching this later, I am going to set you a little challenge. You've got the piece of kit on loan to you, and I know that, but you've also got your own air rifles, various calibers, 2.2, 177. Right? So my little challenge to you, Keith, if you're watching this later, is you've got a bottle top, an ordinary bottle top off a fizzy drink can or a bottle of beer. Keep the tops of the bottle, and that is your target. Alright, that is the size of your target. That's literally nothing. At 25 to 30 to 40 yards, that's going to get smaller, as you know. Ex-military like myself, being on the range, you're shooting at different distances, 100 metres, you can see it as clear as a bell. You've only got to walk past it and the target drops over on an ETR, electronic target range. Alright? 200 metres, yeah, kind of, yeah, just aim for centre mass of the torso, target goes over. 300 metres, now you're outside the bullpop, now you've got to use your skills and drills to knock down a 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 and 900 metre targets when you're on the ETR. Right? So my little challenge to Keith on Let's Tab 59, right, is whatever rifle you depict to use, you're more than welcome for me to send one of my Wolf range. You can either take this one with the day and night optics, you can give it a test run, you can try it on wherever it is and wherever, alright? But the challenge is to hit the bottle tops, 10 targets, 10 shots, 1 shot per target, and you've got to do it consistency. Alright? If you're willing to take up the challenge, we're good to go. Then the second challenge is to light and match with your first round. So you're going to get 3 shots, right? And one as a Wile E. Coyote one, in case you 1, 2 or 3's missed up, and you get one more shot to do the trick. Okay? And that trick is to cut first shell, so you get 3 shots, 1 match stick, and your idea is that your first shot lights the match, second shot puts the match out, and the third and final shot, well, that cuts and match in two. That's the trick. It can be done. You can do it with air rifles, you can do it with pistols, you can do it with 22 rim fire, you can also do it with a 4-ball rifle. I've done it, so I know you can do it. Right? All it takes is practice, and I have not shot the match for ages. In fact, 3.5 decades probably, or 2.5 decades, almost 3 decades. So if you're willing to take that challenge up and practice, there it is. And also the third and final one, because I've got loads. The third and final one is you get a playing card. It looks flat like that, yeah. So if you pick the 10 of clubs, you shoot out all 10, one after the other. It's just like a splatter target. I showed you different targets, yeah. So you practice on that. Then the actual trick and the time comes is when you're aiming at a flat pace. So if I use this card as a reference to what I'm talking about, right? So imagine that's your playing card, and there's the 10 of clubs, and there's the 10 of clubs, and you shoot out all 10 of clubs. Bang, bang, bang. Now the actual trick is to cut. Yeah, see what I've done? That's the front facial of the playing card. Alright? If you turn the playing card like so and you leave that visible, the trick is just cut this card completely in half into 2 pieces. So basically it's what you're doing there. There's your checker clubs. Alright? And then you turn it. Right, you turn it. And that's all you're seeing. And then the aim of the game is to one shot, cut it into literally in 2 pieces. Alright, so let's tab 59. So Keith, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. You can pick any rifle you like. I'll even send you my own personal rifle, so you can shoot this rifle. This will be your rifle. I'll send it out. You can have all the bells and whistles. You can have the bipod on it. You don't use the bipod. Entirely up to you. You can go out roughing with it. I'll lend you it. You can try it out. You can test it out. I'll give you half of the magazines. I'll give you a tin of shells. In fact, I'll just send the whole shooting bag with the rifle, and then you'll have everything in there, and then you can actually go away and shoot. So if you're willing, Keith, this rifle is up for test for you. Alright, so if you're willing to take the challenge and you're willing to try out a different piece of kit, get back into your PCP rifles, and that's a pain in the arse, you know, dive bottle to fill them up, an air compressor, a stirrup pump. Basically you need to be built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the nuclear power station to charge up one of these PCPs on the foot pump. Then you're more than welcome to borrow. Alright, you're more than welcome to borrow this particular rifle with the day and night optics on it. You can set out whatever way you want it. You can shoot it whatever way you want it. Lefty, righty, whatever. Alright? I'll even send it with the gun bag, obviously. Because, come on, people are going, what's that? And you can tell me what this rifle's like. And you can even try the bottle lid trick. 10 shots, 10 bottle lids hanging on the wall, and if one green bottle selects an identical, you've got 9 more bottles to whack off the wall. So that is open to you. If you want to try my Wolverine M2 in a 5.5mm or .22 caliber air rifle, sub 12, with magazines, alright, you're more than welcome to use my rifle, to even borrow it, alright. That's how much I trust you as a brother in arms, A, because you're in the same regiment as my father, my uncles, etc. Get down, jackass. We're both ex-forces. So I'm sending out a little challenge to you, Keith, at Let's Tab 59. 10 targets, 1 shot each, repetitive, 10 out of 10. So that's 100 rounds. 100 shots, 100 rounds, 10 times you're going to do it consistently. And if you want to borrow this to go and do it with, I can do it with any other rifle. I don't need to, you know, stitch you up, do anything like that. It's not what I'm about. You could borrow this, I'll have the other one, and we can compare notes, the good, the bad and the ugly about this particular rifle, the Wolf of Rain. Like I say, it's a bullpop, weighs 6.5 pounds, scope on there is another pound in weight, plus bipod. Like I said, you can carry it around all day. It's got a tactical sling on it, alright, which goes either left or right, personal preference. If you wish to take the bipod off, or me to send it to you without the bipod, I'll rip the bipod off and I'll sling it on the other one. And you can have this without the bipod. No difference. No problem. So, there you go, Keith. You did a PCP video earlier on today. I've done a PCP on just 2, well, 1 rifle, but 2 off, in 2 different setups, if you like. Both are bullpop. Loading mechanism is the same as the Ghost that you advertised earlier. Scope wise, this goes down to 7 up to 14.5 magnification. You can do a little bit more than that. I can even just max it out or zero it out. So there is, you know, 0 to 14 or 14.5, something like that, off the top of my head. You can tune this scope, you can tune this rifle to any way, which way you want. It's a bullpop weapon, like I said. It's a PCP, where my forearm or where my hand is now tapping. That is where the gas bottle is, the air bottle. That's my bipod. And that is the Wolf of Rain M2. This is very accurate. So the next time I shoot this could be this weekend, although both of them need filling up. Okay. I'll do a video this weekend, and what I'll do is I will record it via the app on my phone. So what I'm doing at the real time, the scope is seeing it. Do you see what I mean? So you'll get a better idea of what this piece of kit will do, and then I'll fire the other Wolf of Rain. I'll use that for pest control, hunting, drinking, and I'll show you what both. So the high-tech version, if you like, i.e. because I've got a high-tech scope on there. The rifle's not any different. Loading, firing, pressure, all that is all the same. All the setups all the same. Trigger pressure and trigger pull is all the same. So trigger pull on here is barely a pound. Barely. Alright, I'll have to look into my dope book, and I'll tell you how sensitive this trigger is. Like I said, you can adjust this anywhere which way you like. It's entirely up to you. So Keith, if you wish to take up the doorstep challenge, you're more than welcome to borrow and test drive this bad boy. Alright, with this scope, either with or without the bipod, So up to you. You want to leave it on, I'll leave it on. If you want me to whip it off, I'll whip it off. That's not a problem. Alright? It's fully suppressed. I'll even have it filled up fully for you. I'll even obviously leave it in the drag bag. You'll have all the filler points in there. You'll have my magazines and shells in there. Things like that. So look out. Keep sharp on it. So that's an idea for you. Alright? There's one other thing in my pouch that I try to explain. I said that I would show you. It's just reminded me to do that. Alright, the tea's done. This is looking. Time for. Yeah, I'll actually smoke cigars. So if you're interested when I'm smoking cigar wise, then it is. Really nice cigar actually. Excuse me. So, like I said, final patch. What I said, yeah, what you got in your final patch? Well, I'll tell you what I got in my final patch. An old set of Northern Ireland gloves, or NI gloves. Alright, yeah. I've seen better days, I know. Got padded knuckles. Or as we used to say, we're going to have paddy bashing when we was in Northern Ireland. Right? And I've had these ever since I was in the forces, and I'm not getting rid of my original Northern Ireland gloves. Right? I do have the new version tactical gloves. Yet again, padded knuckles, padded fingers, and so on. Alright, and I've literally chopped these down so that I can operate my rifle, and if I need to bug out and do it, I've got it, yeah? So that's 2 gloves. So I have a set of gloves. Normally, I'd have my neoprene fingerless ones, and the reason why behind that is if your hands get cold, wet and miserable, the neoprene, just like the same stuff as a wetsuit or diving suit is made from, it will keep you warm and keep your hands lovely and toast. Another top tip. Right, so that's my gloves. The glove. There's a pup missile. Yeah, it's one of those to try and get off. It's a pain in the arse. Like I said, the leather's old. You've got half a ton of shrapnel sitting on your hand for your rings and trinkets. Right, so set of gloves, good set of gloves. That's all you need when you're going out shooting, day or night. Neoprene preferred, better option, get them. Also, in here, it's my spotting scope. Alright, this is my spotting scope. Try and go have a nice butcher's look around. This is a dump pouch that I acquired off a friend who does airsoft. He's got his own airsoft shop and stuff. Like I said, I've never done airsoft, to be honest. I'm not even bloody interested in it. The closest I got to airsoft is when me and my friends made up a paintball team, and we used to run around like maniacs shooting paint at one another in our paintball team. That's the closest I've got to airsoft. If you want to do airsoft, fine, fair enough, I've got no beef about that, got no problems with it. If you want to run around like a soldier, then get down to careers office, fill out the paperwork, do what you need to do, get your arse in, pass out. You can have all the cami gear look like a bush all day long, as long as you want. Yeah, you can have your own personal weapon, so you can have an assault rifle plus sidearm. Alright, depending on where you go, you might be humping around a mortar tube, you might be in reconnaissance, so having a decent set of glass lenses, right, for observation, target work, that sort of stuff. You need a good optics. A set of binos, binoculars, will do exactly what this spotting scope will do. Exactly the same. Alright, at the end of the day, you're Captain Hook in it. You're looking about and seeing what's going on, and defining features. Like I said, that is a SA-80. Right, British Army assault rifle sling. Comes in 2 pieces. You fit it as 1 piece. Although we got taught to fit it in 2 pieces, in 2 parts, and then eventually someone got rid of that idea and just sling it on as is. Alright, that will be another demo. I'll even get out one of the L85s and L86 that I own. Still firing, still working. I've got a couple of DP L85 and L86. L85 don't exist in the British Army no more. They got rid of the LSW, light support weapon, which was basically an SA-80 just stretched out, longer barrel, outrigger, bipod, rear pistol grip, and a bunch metal plate strap used to go over your shoulder so you can pull the gun down when it's firing. It's magazine fed, same as L96, 30 round magazine, job done. They found in the end, when the Americans, or you guys out in the States, had the saw, we call it the Minimi in the UK, and also in the British forces we call it the Minimi, 5.56 belt fed, and if you run out of belt, if someone's got 5.56 magazine, the 5.56 magazine can slip on the side and work and operate and go shooting and all that caper with the saw, or the Minimi as we call it over here, us Brits. Right, so that's my SA-80 rifle sling. Like I said, I can put the sling swivels and use that. Don't have to use the single point quick release joggers, right? So that's a bit of a pain in the ass. So the last piece of my kit equipment, I would say in the patches, is this. Right, this is it's another magazine pouch technically, but I use it for keeping my when I'm out in the field, obviously I rebuild it and restack it. So I've got a full complete SA-80 or L96 cleaning kit, water, oil bottle, combi tool, combination tool. I've got nylon brush, I've got wire brush, I've got Scotch Brite in there, I've got flannelette in there, I've got pull throughs, I've got the cleaning rods, bore rods, the whole shabam. I've even got spare firing pins. How about that? Very rare. Very rare. Been asked, do you want to sell it? The answer is no, you've got no fucking chance. So, in my ammo pouch, I've got spare batteries. These aren't for the rifle scope, these are for the infrared torch that I put on as an extra. Well, yeah, I want to see what I'm shooting or even looking at to, ponder the question, do I want to take the shot or do I want to leave it alone? So these are just spare batteries. These are fully rechargeable. Yeah, so these are fully rechargeable. These also operate my other night camera system that I was explaining before. We've got a night camera system, basically like a mobile phone sitting on top of your rifle, but the shine and glare you that you get back walking around over night time. You get my drift. You can see it. So these are the batteries originally for that. I keep spare ones for my infrared torch. Fully charged, although they might need another charge again. It's not a problem. It takes 10 minutes. Right, so that's just one thing in the dump pouch. What else have I got in here? Right, okay, so this is the USB charger for the HIC micro, right? Bearing in mind you're going to be out in the field, Mother Nature swings you a curveball, and that curveball is always something to do with the weather. So when you're out and about, always stick your comms, your electrics, your spare batteries in a resealable bag. Alright, every time, all the time. Always in a resealable bag, no matter what. Alright, and the reasons why is Mother Nature won't get to destroy it. It's gone. You can't use it no more. It's no good. It's no good if you're out in the field. It's no good. You know, you want it, you need it, so on and so forth. This is the charging lead, right? So, like I said, this is USB, the scope. There's the charging lead. I always keep the charging lead with me because the simple reason is my battery pack, my power bank that I use when I'm out fishing. I have the power bank fully charged, completely good as a bell, which my phone should be plugged into right now, but anyhow, it is what it is. So this connector, that connects into your scope, that goes into your USB supply, power bank, plug indoors, charge it up, that stays in the scope, that's then plugged in. These two are now talking to one another. Hey presto, your scope's all fully charged. Red light when it's dead, green light go. Like it is when you're parachuting. You get red light comes on, it's 30 minutes. Alright, and then green light, you're out the fucking door. And you're into the wilderness and you're enjoying the ride. So that's the charging lead. Alright? And I keep charger lead with me, like I say, because I hump around with my power bank. So I don't need, for example, which is another good reason why I've got the scope. Not because it's a day night and does all the jazz I need it to do, but also if I plug this into the power bank and then straight into the rifle, I don't need to use the power inside the scope. It's doing two things. It's giving me power as well as charging up the scope at the same time. You can use it on laptops, things like that, to charge up your scope. Anything with a USB capability will charge up your system. Alright, will charge up your system. So then, like I said, keep all of your electronics. Right, I have found this out the hard way, and it was the hard way. Alright, it was a cold, wet, miserable, bloody night, sitting in the harbour area, needed to use electronics. Oh dear, some idiot, yeah, me, some idiot forgot to waterproof things, and things went from bad to worse in a heartbeat. So, once bitten, twice shy, I learnt I was on my ways. Now every time I'm out in Mother Nature, whether it be a hot day, cold, wet, miserable, piss wet fucking England type of day, all of my comms, including my mobile phone, all goes in a resealable bag. Whether it's the summertime, winter time, autumn, spring, all year round, my comms, my electronics and spare parts that I need, whether it be a power bank and all the rest of it, all go in a resealable bag, protect it away from the river, you know, the weather conditions. I mentioned about my infrared torch, that's the clamp, that will literally clamp on top of your scope. The infrared torch gives me an extra daylight sensation. I don't know if that, yeah, might, there we go. See, so you can see the infrared torch there, yeah, IR torch, right. Animals can generally see it, sometimes animals can't see it, because animals see in different colours. So there you go, that's my infrared torch. Alright, that makes my life damn sight easy when I'm out shooting overnight. Whack that on, job done. So that's all. Also, all goes in this pouch. Yeah, you've got to think about it. You're carrying kit, just like soldiers. They have belt kit, they have Bergens. They've all got to carry kit and equipment. Where's it going to go? What's it going to do? So on and so on. This is another important piece of kit. It's not been used in a while. I've got to change the batteries. This I rely on. In fact, all shooters, snipers alike, all rely on one of these. Right? You can get a Gucci version. This is just something I got off of Amazon just to get me out of a fix for two hobbies, two interests, two hobbies, two reasons. Alright, one, I'm a mad carp fisherman, absolutely bonkers about fishing. I like to know what the wind speed is, I like to know what the pressure is, I like to know what is in Fahrenheit and Celsius. This tells you that information. Tells you that information. It'll even tell you if a typhoon and a twister's on its way. This tells you it, right? It's a anotometer, right? If you watch a lot of these modern day sniper films, they'll always pull out one of these systems and it gives them the wind speed, the windage that they can dial in to the scope and place it round where they need that round to be. So it'll tell you the speed of the wind, like I said, temperature, thermals, all the data and information you need to put down in your data book, right, or your dope book. Okay, this does a lot of work for you to do that process. That's what this is for. So I use it for fishing, tells me the temperature, wind speed, all of that came up, if I'm having a good day, bad day, or what's coming around the corner in the next 24, 48, or even 2 hours, an hour's way, 30-minute warning. This thing will tell you all that information. Plus, like I said, I don't always use it for fishing, I use it for shooting. Use it for shooting because you need to know, obviously, wind speed, speed of drift, adjustments, all the things that I've explained just a second ago. That goes in the rifle. So I have one of these. Alright? And then last but least are some other little pieces. So that is a honeycomb sunshade. And this fits onto the front of your scope. You just screw it in. You can buy them all in different sizes, and that stops reflection from the front of your scope to advertise, oi, I'm over here. So that cuts out reflection. You don't see no honeycomb effect when you're actually looking down your scope. You'll just see what you would normally see without this fitted. So I'll put this on for that purpose. So there's no reflection, etc. Alright. Then what else have I got? Well, that's a question. I don't really know. Well, I don't know. Sewing it up. Like again, all in a plastic bag. One, you don't lose all your bits and pieces, and two, it saves it from getting damaged from dirt, grease, crap, and shit you don't need. Alright, so in here, I won't bother taking it out of the bag. Alright, so that is my filler port. That connects into the bottle. This piece connects into the rifle. And if you're wondering what that dark black shape is, well that's the muzzle brake. That's optional. So that all goes in there. As well as, well, I don't need to know what that is, but that's a set of keys. Right. All of this, all of that kit that I've just shown you, all goes into that pouch. That pouch then goes into my bag. That bag is then done. Sorted. That's my kit and equipment. That's my loadout. Yeah. So that's what I do when I go shooting. Those are the two type of rifles I use currently. Why? Because they're accurate. They're made by Wolfer. The barrel is actually made by Viroc. Same people that make the HW100. A very accurate rifle. If you never seen one, Google it, check it out. Watch Andy's Air Guns, AA on Air, comes out every Friday in the morning between 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. It pre-does it the day before, a few days before, and it reviews air weapons, anything to do with air guns, PCPs, springers, pneumatics, pistons, CO2s, scopes, compressors, target, the whole 9 yards. All the new latest kit and equipment, including the Daystate Wolf / Brocock Ghost. That Let's Tab 59 was trying out earlier on today on his channel. Alright, so like I said, check his channel out. He's a really channel. He does know his army barmy stuff, without a doubt. So go and check that channel out. I do apologise to Nobby. I think it's Nobby3254. Go and check his channel out. He's an ex-squaddy, like most of us are. So now I'm just trying to cram all this back in here, how I had it. It's one of those here trial and error type elements. So I'll leave it on the comms cord, so therefore I don't lose it. Because yet again, I'm only putting it out to do the job I want it to do. Once it's done and I've found out what's what, goes in there, goes back in the bag until the next time. So that is a lowdown on my rifle setup. Okay, what's in the pouches, what do I carry? People I get asked this more times than I can actually remember. I see you doing this, and why? What's the reason behind it? Why'd you do it? So on and so on. Well, I'll just explain it to you. So if you're new to the game, you've now got a brief idea of what a PCP is, what a wolf for rain looks like. A lot of people go, oh, I don't know what that is. What is it? Well, it's a bullpop rifle. A lot of people don't even know what a bullpop is. So I'm faffing around trying to get the equipment back in the bag. Yeah. So that's all nice and neat. Like I said, good set of sturdy gloves. Anything else that needs to go now? Negative. Shooting gloves. Either a decent leather pair, Northern Ireland glove. Yeah. I don't speak now. Northern Ireland gloves with the padded knuckles and fingers, or tactical gloves. Alright, just good. Gloves that we used out in Iraq and Afghan. Basically the new modern Northern Ireland glove, basically. It's like a ballistic glove. They're all good. But I would strongly suggest a set of neoprene gloves, fingerless or otherwise. Keep you warm, no matter whatever the weather. Whether your hands are sweating, whether your hands are already wet, whether the gloves are already wet, because they're neoprene, same as a dive suit, they will keep your hands nice and warm, even if they're damp, cold, wet, miserable. Now the jazz done on the, now the jazz done on the jazz. Bloody typical. So that's what my kit entails. And one last thing, yeah, I've got more patches here. So that is my L86 cleaning kit. Alright, just to prove what's in there. Just give you a quick Scooby-Doo what a SA80 cleaning kit looks like. So this is what my cleaning kit looks like. Grey, that's my cleaning kit. Like I said, I've got flannelette, combi tool, combination tool. Yeah, got that. I've got muzzle covers, I've got all sorts in there. Alright, and that stays in my rifle bag for all eventualities and all situations. Right, like I said, I've got them cleaning brush, got 2 of those, basically like a toothbrush, but it's metal, yeah, like the old wire brush, basically. Old type nylon brush from a cleaning kit, SA80. Muzzle cover, and in there I've got my 3-piece extension rods, ball brushes, etc. And that all goes like so, and then all I do is swing a lucky band around it, and I'm good to go. So there we go. And there you go. That is my cleaning kit. This stays with my weapon all the time. Last but not least, I said it to you earlier. I want to compare on there, right there. So this mad weird thing. Alright, this bit of mad weird thing is a rifle wrap. Alright, all of this stuff here is all burlap that's been dyed, sprayed, tied on. Here's a bit of elastic, so that'll go around your muzzle, and then you wrap that around your rifle, camouflages up the rifle. Good bit of kit, don't take that long to make either. Easy. And that is what it is. Another cleaning kit, rods, brushes. And another top tip is, if you're going out shooting, hunting, pest controlling, whatever, alright, have the hunting act with you. This will cover your backside from the laws and regulations in Britain stating what you can and can't do, hunting, trespass, armed trespass, etc. If you don't have a copy of this, and it's not with you when you do go out, and if someone questions why you're here, whose land you're on, the whole shebang, if you've got a copy of this, and you get the owner to sign it with your signature, their details, copyright, phone number, and vice versa, this will cover your arse from getting banged up in prison and thrown away the key. So, get a copy. If you've got permission, get the guy to sign it, or the lass to sign it, the owners to sign it, and then you're good to go. And that is my kit. If I want to go shooting, sounds like a lot, it probably feels like a lot, I know it certainly humps around and weighs a lot sometimes, but when it's in storage, I just keep all of that gubbins where I need it, so when I know it's there, I know it's there, do you see what I mean? Yeah? And then this is just simply my shooting bag. Nothing fandangle about it, it's padded, and then all we're going to do is put the rifle to bed to sleep. And now we simply do that, we get the rifle, like I said. So Keith, this rifle is open to you to use. You can give me your demo, you can give me your views, okay, you can tell me what's what, good, bad and the ugly. You do it straight. Oh look at it, look, it's struggling. No, not quite struggling, Carl. Yeah, so you can give me an update on this rifle, right? I'm putting it out to you and I'm lending to you my rifle to you, and you can give this one a go. So what I'm going to do is just slap it on, put it in his bed, and always, I think last week, another thing, why do you give your rifle a girl's name? Well, that's quite easy. Reminds you of your sweetheart back home. And your rifle is always your sweetheart. She saves your life. If you look after your rifle will look after you. And what I mean by that is, it'll keep you alive. Or it'll keep working, doing the job that it is. So, yeah, like I said, a rifle is no more than a carpenter's chisel, hammer, things like that, right? It's a tool, alright? Unless you join the armed forces and you have a specific job to do, which that's the unit or the place that you've gone into, then obviously a rifle is there to save your life. And yet again, it's a tool, alright? So they're all tools. They're not killing machines, they're only killing machines if you're going to go and shoot something to kill it. And like I was always taught, son, if you're not going to eat it, don't shoot it. Don't shoot something for fun, to put it out of its misery, just to make you happy. Yeah. So like I said, these are my kit and equipment. This is my go-to kit. This is what I carry, this is what I take. So a lot of people, it's excessive. To other people, they say, you don't have other stuff I've got, mate. And all of that rubbish. Do you know what? It works for me. That's what's important. Buying something, using something that works for you. So that's my kit. That's my equipment. That's what I do. That's what I'll get up to. So, there we go. All ready to go for the next day's jolly. So, if you want to tune in, see some more. I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying consider it. Until the next time, lads, as Keith will say, and if you're watching Keith and Trace around, hi, how you doing? And shout out to you, shout out to all of my subscribers. Thanks for getting me this far. Let's try and push the channel even a bit further. So I'm not saying do it because it's free, don't cost you a nickel, but consider it.